everybody. I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week I thought it would be fun to make a shark pop-up card. This just says, "Hello, chum." And then we open it up and we have a shark. And it just says, "Popping in to say hi." And it just looks like he's jumping out of the water with some splashes. And then of course on the back I put a place where we can write a message if you would like. So why don't we go ahead and head over to Design Space and we will create this card. I'll see you there. Okay, now that we're here in Design Space, we can get a square and we can make it 10.5 by 6.5. And we're going to get a 6.5 inch score line. We're going to take that, we're going to go up to the top, click on align center, go down to the bottom and click on attach. Then we're going to have 4 pieces of pretty paper. They are going to be 5 by 6.25. We can group this together and move it aside. Let's go to shapes. We're going to get a square. We're going to make it 1.694 by 8.011. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.007 and the Y at 3.707. Then we're going to go get a half circle. We're going to make it 2.57 by 5.14. We're going to rotate it 20.1 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1 and the Y at 1.014. Then we're going to right click, duplicate. We're going to rotate it 339.9 degrees. We're going to place the X at 5.56 and the Y at 1. Then let's grab the purple piece, 2 purple pieces, and we're going to click on weld. Then we're going to grab all 3 pieces and go down to the bottom and click on slice. Then we're going to highlight the purple piece, go down to contour, and we're going to get rid of these 2 triangles here. And then we have this piece. Now let's grab it all and go down to the bottom and click on weld. Then we should have this. Now let's just move the yellow piece aside. Then we're going to go to shapes. We're going to get a square. We're going to make that a 2 by 2 square. We're going to rotate it 32.91 degrees. We're going to place the X at 2.238 and the Y at 1. Then we're going to duplicate that square. We're going to rotate it 20.74 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1 and the Y at 3.818. Then we can duplicate one of those squares and we're going to adjust it to be 0.202 by 2.947. We'll rotate it 26.68 degrees. We're going to place the X at 3.247 and the Y at 2.608. Then we're going to grab both of the purple squares, go down to the bottom, click on weld. Then we're going to grab all 3 pieces and go down to the bottom and click on slice. And this is the piece that we want right here, this piece here. We're going to take this yellow piece here. We're going to place the X on 1 and the Y at 6.85. Then we're going to take this guy right here, going to place the X at 2.87 and the Y at 1.47. Then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to rotate it 124.06 degrees. We're going to place the X at 5.489 and the Y at 1.584. Then we're going to go to shapes and we're going to get an oval. We're going to make that oval 4.3 by 1.913. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to place the X at 3.96 and the Y at 1. Then we're going to get a square. We are going to make it 0.337 by 4.914. Rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to place the X at 2.523 and the Y at 4.731. Then we're going to get a half circle. We are going to make it 0.514 by 1.028. We're going to place the X at 2.194 and the Y at 4.738. Then we can right click, duplicate that half circle. We're going to place the X at 7.158 and the Y at 4.738. Then we are going to get a square. We're going to make it 0.156 by 2.271. We're going to rotate it 14.22 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.876 and the Y at 5.337. Then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to rotate it 345.78 degrees. We're going to place the X at 7.282 and the Y at 5.337. We're going to get another oval. We are going to make it 4.383 by 2.302. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. We're going to place the X at 3.766 and the Y at 1.056. Then we're going to get another oval. We're going to make it 4.376 by 2.342. We're going to place the X at 2.764 and the Y at 3.336. Then we're going to get another oval. We are going to make it 4.639 by 2.482. We're going to place the X at 2.641 and the Y at 3.517. Then we're going to get one more oval. We are going to make it 5.155 by 2.759. We're going to place the X at 2.391 and the Y at 3.767. We're going to grab it all and then go down to the bottom and click on Weld. Then we're going to click on it again, and then we're going to go down to Contour and hide all contours. So now we have this piece right here. Now let's go to Shapes. We're going to get a half circle. We're going to make that half circle 5.417 by 6.014. We're going to rotate it 270 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.292 and the Y at 1. Then we're going to right click, duplicate. We're going to make it 5.389 by 6.653. We're going to place the X at 1 and the Y at 4.326. Then we're going to grab them both and go down to the bottom and click on Slice. Then we have this piece here. Now we're going to put our pink piece on 3.017 and the Y on 1. Then we're going to go get a 2x2 square. We are going to rotate it 72.81 and place the X at 1 and then the Y at 5.499. Then we're going to right click, duplicate it. We're going to adjust the rotation to 10.36. We're going to place the X at 8.754 and the Y at 5.503. Then we can right click on both of the purple pieces, go down to the bottom, click on Weld. Then we'll grab all three pieces and click on Slice. And then we have this piece here. Now we have our pink piece, the X and the Y on 1. We're going to go to Shapes. We're going to get an oval. We're going to make that oval 1.639 by 0.504. We're going to rotate it 91.36 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.017 and the Y at 4.883. Then we can duplicate that oval. We're going to adjust it to 1.597 by 0.476. We're going to rotate it 91.4 degrees. We're going to place the X at 6.503 and the Y at 4.87. Then we're going to click on both purple pieces, weld them together. Then we're going to click on all three pieces. We're going to click on Slice. We're going to click on the peach piece, and we are going to get rid of this little snippet over here and then this little snippet over there. And then we're going to grab all the rest of the pieces and go down to the bottom and click on Weld. And then we have this piece here. And now what we're going to do is just make some teeth here. Now you can go in and put your triangles and do them however you want for the teeth, but if you're unsure, I'm going to quickly give you the measurements for these triangles. So we're going to get a triangle. We're going to make it 0.669 by 0.948. We're going to rotate it 142.37 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.373 and the Y at 5.584. Then we're going to get another triangle. We're going to make it 0.669 by 0.948. We're going to rotate it 142.37 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.591 and the Y at 4.6. Our next triangle is going to be 0.767 by 1.085. We're going to rotate it 142.37 degrees. We're going to place the X at 1.877 and the Y at 3.624. The next one is 0.757 by 0.769. We're going to rotate it 138.13. The X is at 2.238 and the Y at 2.846. The next one is 0.707 by 0.825. We rotate it 138.13 degrees. The X is at 2.238 and the Y at 2.846. The next one is 0.874 by 0.757. We rotate it 155.67 degrees. We place the X at 3.471 and the Y at 1.438. The next one is 0.937 by 0.811. We rotated it 174.76 degrees. We place the X at 4.539 and the Y at 1.204. Then the next one is 0.937 by 0.811. We rotated it 199.98 degrees. We place the X at 7.739 and the Y at 1.117. The width is 0.731 by 0.633. We rotated 207.72 degrees. We place the X at 6.697 and the Y at 1.626. The next one is 0.6 by 0.52. We rotated it 219.68 degrees. The X is at 7.405 and the Y at 2.23. Then the next one is 0.57 by 0.494. We rotated it 225.15 degrees. The X is at 7.801 and the Y at 2.736. The next one is 0.479 by 0.415. We rotated it 225.15 degrees. The X is at 8.194. The Y is at 3.305. The next one is 0.479 by 0.415. We rotated it 237.57. The X is at 8.488 and the Y at 3.858. The next one is 0.511 by 0.519. We rotated it 351.29 degrees. The X is at 8.771 and the Y at 4.512. The next one is 0.378 by 0.572. We rotated it 1.33 degrees. The X is at 9.13, the Y at 5.38. And the last one is 0.378 by 0.572. We rotated it 2.66 degrees. The X is at 9.253, the Y at 6.321. The bottom one is 0.257 by 0.431. We rotated it 113.69 degrees. The X is at 1.85, the Y at 7.521. The next one is 0.285 by 0.477. We rotated it 113.69 degrees. The X at 2.066, the Y at 7.069. The next one is 0.711 by 0.722. We rotated it 324.38 degrees. The X is at 2.551, the Y at 6.266. The next triangle is 0.627 by 0.637. We rotated it 220.14 degrees. The X is at 3.144, the Y at 5.74. The next one is 0.476 by 0.881. We rotated it 159.56 degrees. The x is at 3.806, the y at 5.13. The next triangle is 0.639 by 1.182. We rotated it 174.95 degrees. The x is at 4.559. The y is at 4.601. The next one is 0.64 by 1.239. We rotated it 186.72 degrees. The x is at 5.377. The y at 4.509. The next one is 0.51 by 0.988. We rotated it 194.14 degrees. The x is at 6.336. The y at 5.054. The next one is 0.415 by 0.803. We rotated it 201.11 degrees. The x is at 7.067. The y at 5.608. The next triangle is 0.418 by 0.809. We rotated it 223.26 degrees. The x is at 7.647. The y at 6.147. The next one is 0.395 by 0.626. We rotated it 348.79 degrees. We placed the x at 8.27, the y at 6.74. The next triangle is 0.514 by 0.652. We rotated 231.39 degrees. The x we placed at 8.723, the y at 7.449. The last one is 0.417 by 0.528. We rotated it 239.11. The x is at 9.173, the y at 8.403. Now, our peach piece, if you have it in place, we're just going to hide it. Then we're going to grab all of our teeth and we're going to go down to the bottom and click on Weld. Now, once we have all of our teeth done and we have these welded together, you can adjust it to however you want it to sit inside your mouth. Then once you have it in your mouth how you would like it, let's just grab them all and go down to the bottom and click on Slice. And then we have this piece here. Then we can right click, duplicate, go over to Contour, hide all contours. We have this piece. This piece will be white. This will be red. Then we have the mouthpiece. We can grab them both, go up to the top and align center. We can group it together. Then we just want to adjust it to 2.179. And then we have our mouthpiece. It should adjust at your other side to 2.019. Then for the eyes, the white piece is 0.086 by 0.086, and the black piece is 0.178 by 0.192. Then you can put them just inside each other and then group it together. And then you can right click, duplicate to get your other eye over here. Our big piece here, we're going to resize it to 4.04 by 5.188. And I do have my X and my Y on one. We're going to go to Shapes. We're going to get a score line. We're going to make it 5.106. We're going to place the X at 2.973 and the Y at 1.015. Then we're going to go get another score line. We're going to make it 1.944. We're going to rotate it 99.75 degrees. We'll place the X at 1.01 and the Y at 5.3. Then we can right click, duplicate that score line. We're going to adjust it to 2.091. We'll rotate it to 60.25. We're going to place the X at 2.97 and the Y at 5.29. Then we're going to get a cut line. Let's go to shapes. We're going to get a score line. Then we're going to go up and change it to a basic cut line. We are going to make it 0.518. We're going to place the X at 2.967 and the Y at 5.67. Then what we're going to do is grab all of our score lines and our one cut line and our gray piece for our shark, and we're going to click on attach. And how I made these little nose pieces, I went to shapes, I got a half circle. I made the bottom half circle 1.25 by 2.5. I placed the X at 2.986 and the Y at 7.458. And then the top one, I went to shapes again, got a half circle, made it 2.096 by 4.192. Rotated it 356.36 degrees, placed the X at 3.051 and the Y at 6.562. And you can grab both of them, go down to the bottom, click on slice. And then we have this piece right here. And then all I did was turn this sideways and positioned it wherever you want it. Grab them both, click on slice. And then you have two small nose pieces, and you can readjust these to whatever you like, and then just rotate them like so. And then we can put our mouth on top, and then we can grab it all and click on group. That I put in the center to make it look like it's coming out of a like he's splashing out of the card. This is how I made mine. I'm just going to show you how I did it. I'm not going to give you a measurements because I think you could just be creative and create something unique. So I just took a circle, is 4.018 by 4.018, and then I just took ovals and I just rotated them different ways all the way around the circle, as you can see. Then once I had those how I liked it, you can grab them and then you can click on weld. Then you have something that looks like this. So then what I did after I welded it, I took some more of the ovals and I just went around and snipped it out like so. And some I went deeper. See how that one is deeper? And I just rotated it around the circle to however I thought it would make it look like a splash. Then once you have it to how you like your center splash, I just right click, duplicated my splash here. So right click, duplicate, and then I just flipped it horizontal so it looks different, and then resized it to fit inside the bigger splash like so. And then you can just slice it down the center. I cut mine in half so it wouldn't bulk up the center of it. Okay guys, so here's all the basic pieces you need to make this pop-up card. If you want to add anything to it, go ahead. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. Now we can go ahead and get our pieces cut out, and I'll meet you at the craft table and I'll show you how to put this together. I'll see you there. Okay guys, now that we are back at the table, what we can do is work our score line and put our pretty piece of paper on. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now that we have this on, what we can do is get our shark and put our shark pieces on our shark if we haven't already. So if you want, you can go ahead and work your score lines. Also, there's one in the center and then two down at the bottom. They are all going to be mountain folds. Okay, now that we have our shark done, what we can do is fold it together like so, and then we're just gonna snip these pieces off like so, the corner pieces off. So it should now look like that. Then before we put our shark on, if you decided to do the center splash, we need to put that on now. And this time I did mine in vinyl. On the other one I did it with paper. So we're going to see how this works out with the vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on real quick. I think I definitely like the vinyl better than the paper. So once we have our splash on, if you're choosing to do that, the only thing we have to do is fold our little guy up like so, and then the edge will go in the edge of our score line here. So just make sure he's not going outside your card base, and I'm going to try to get him as close as I can to the center here. So I think about right there I'm good with. So I'm going to put some glue down. Probably going to use tape because I'm using vinyl, and then fold my side to it. Then once we have this side down, we're going to do the same thing to this side. And there we have it. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, since we got this done, is decorate it, and I'll be back to show you what I've come up with. Okay guys, so this is what I came up with. It says, "We think you're totally jawsome," and then we have the shark jumping out of the water. And then on the back, I did a place where you can write a message, and I just did a surfboard with a shark bite taken out of it. Do you guys know what you get when you cross a shark and a snowman? Frostbite. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping.